The newly formed Jimmy Fun course was warming up for a special Major League debut. The all-volunteer choir, made up of more than 150 former and current adult and pediatric patients, their families, and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute staff members, were getting ready to perform at the 2013 home opener for the Boston Red Sox. The chorus is helping to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the partnership between the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund. The partnership is the longest-standing and most extensive team-charity relationship in all of professional sports.
I'm here today because this is a great organization. I'm a longtime Red Sox fan, lifetime Red Sox fan, and there's no better way to honor them than to honor Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund.
To me, I think it's so important to shed light on the wonderful things that the Jimmy Fund has done to help so many people. It's an amazing celebration to, sort of commemorate the relationship between the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund.
When the group got to Fenway Park, they walked to the outfield before game time to sing the first of 4 songs in front of the sellout crowd of close to 40,000 fans. Also on the field, pediatric and adult patients treated at Dana-Farber during each decade since the 1950s made ceremonial first pitches to former and current Red Sox players, including John Lester and Will Middlebrooks. Dana-Farber trustee David Perini also threw out the first pitch. His father helped to start the Jimmy Fund in 1948, while he was owner of the Boston Braves and encouraged the Red Sox to carry on the cause when the Braves left for Milwaukee. And just before the game began, Jimmy Fund Clinic patients and their siblings joined legendary Red Sox pitcher Pedro Martinez in yelling, "Play ball." The season-long 60th anniversary celebration will highlight the deep bond the Jimmy Fund and the Red Sox have established since the two organizations teamed up. The partnership has raised more than $100 million for cancer research and care at Dana-Farber and dramatically changed the quality of life for adults and children facing cancer in New England and around the world. As for the chorus, their job isn't done yet. They'll be back for the annual Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon in August, and hopefully to sing if the Sox make it to the World Series.
All right, guys, here we are with the Robocop build. We said you got about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks to get this sucker done for the Jimmy Fund charity auction, and we've jumped headlong into it now. We washed and primed all the parts. Some of the chrome parts for the engine were dechromed in oven cleaner, washed, and I started painting them. Also started working on the, I'm doing some painting on the sprues here. Whatever I can get ahead of it. The chassis is done, or not done, I apologize, it's been primered. What I did on the chassis, since this car is going to basically be black on black, on black and black, I decided to just change the colors up just a teeny bit. And that is, I added to the chassis, I added a coat of primer first, and then I painted the black. Just like you'd see on like some of the old 60s muscle cars, you'd see this primer section down the center of the car, and then the body color would come in. It's not really accurate to an 89 Taurus, but like I said, I just want to add a little bit of color and character to the body, to the build itself. I know it's on the underside, but it is what it is. So it was just my way of changing things up a little bit so it wasn't so black. Otherwise, tank is done in steel, flat blacked, the wheel wells and everything, and I did some gloss black or semi-gloss black for the engine compartment area. So the engine originally calls for aluminum, but when I was done with it, it was just too aluminum, too much. So I decided to paint the block and tank black, steel for the transmission, and then the valve covers and the intake will be in aluminum, and that should give it some nice contrast. So anyway, hang on, we'll be back with some more.
As Dan was going through his treatment, the Smith building was being built, and we always used to say as we were watching out the window, the construction being done, the building was getting bigger and stronger, and he was getting bigger and stronger.
And I remember watching these families and watching the children kneeling up on those windowsills and seeing their name being spray painted on. That was pure magic.
I am cancer-free today, and I've been in remission for over 10 years.
I remember Danny as his first day in the Jimmy Fund Clinic. He was a 7-year-old with these cute little glasses on.
He had this little face with these big glasses and the baseball cap.
You look back and you see those pictures and you say, wow, I remember when he was like that.
And then when he was diagnosed, I realized this is the best place in the world.
For me today to see Danny as a grown man is amazing.
He's enjoying his life, and he's moved on as far as experiencing life now.
When I go in there today, I want to help, and I want to volunteer and help him out in any way possible.
Every time you get to see a Danny walk through the clinic doors, I think it gives you a breath of fresh air. Then the goal of it is to sort of, they move on. They continue on with school, and then they do wonderful things with their life.
The story has evolved again. The new building will bring the same thing that this building has done for Dan.
The Jimmy Fund Clinic is a special, special place.
It's been amazing to sort of watch the spray painting happen again.
Words are tough to come by because they saved my life. It's important for me to give back.
When I look at that building, and I'll look at the new building, I still see the names. I see the names of every child that's name was put up there. You know, you don't forget a beautiful name being spray painted on a building that's going to develop the cure for cancer one day.
Okay guys, we're back, and work is progressing on the Robocop Taurus. First off, we have the motor. The motor is almost done. Alright, zoom in here. Alright, looking kind of cool. Like I said before, it was supposed to be silver, is what it called out for, but it was just too silver, so I redid the block and the tank, the oil tank, in black, and then did the intake, the valve covers, and the exhausts in the silver. The transmission here is in steel. I'm going to dirty this up a little bit later. You can see it actually has got the Ford logo on it and the SHO engraving on there. You know, 24 valve, dual overhead cam, pretty cool. But I'll muck it up later, so also it'll get the highlights to stand out a little bit. All right, so that's just about done. That's going to be ready to go into the chassis, and that's going to fit in here. Zoom back out. That'll actually, just like the real car, it's going to come in from the bottom. When you actually remove the engine from the real one-to-one car, you actually have to jack it up and pull it out of the bottom, just like that. That's pretty accurate then. So that's that. Next, we have the interior. Okay, you can see this very well. I'll try to zoom in here. I took some pictures online of what the interiors looked like. There were no black interior for this car for this year. It was a gray. So I took, it is Model Masters dark gray, F15 dark gray. And that's what I used to paint this up with. Focus, there you go. Put the black where it should be on the dash, the radio, the steering wheel, and the radio's down there. And then just did some dry brushing. The police radio still has to go in the radar and stuff, but that's it for right now. The camera really isn't showing the dash as well as it looks with the dials and everything, but it didn't come out too bad. And then there was, right there in front of you, the cage, the divider here. In the kit comes with a solid, or a one-piece clear plastic divider. It's supposed to be like the bulletproof glass or whatever divider, but if you see the movie, it was a wire mesh. So I took this material here that I had, this active wire mesh. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. It comes in 2 different sizes. This is actually the large one here, and I took the small one, sized it out to the roll bar, cut it out, glued it on, and then painted the whole thing. I think it looks pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. So that looks good. And that's it for now. I mean, little baby steps here and there. It's coming along. But time's ticking, and we're making progress. So, till next time.